bum, 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 bum. Guys, we're live. Welcome back. This is going to be an incredible stream. It's Saturday. It's like Saturday morning cartoons, but we're Saturday morning rendering. Guys, I am so excited to announce all this. I mean, it seems like all you guys know in the chat already. But I'm doing my first contest, my first ever contest, and it's a render challenge, and it's a big giveaway, so I am very, very excited. I'm teaming up with NVIDIA and PNY to do this whole thing with you guys. They came together, got a nice prize pool, and we're going to make something super awesome. I'm going to let a couple people roll in. We got about 87 people in the chat. I'm going to hang out with you guys for like the next 5 minutes, and then I'm going to get right into it, and we're going to dive right into all the details, what this contest is, first off, how to enter, how to join. It's going to go for the next 4 weeks, all right? And we're going to create some super cool art together. Very, very excited. So if you hadn't already, go ahead and go to the link that that PNY has made. They did a really good job on the website. They put together a landing page for this contest. I'm calling it Parallel Dimensions. All right, and I'll get into why it's called Parallel Dimensions in a second. Once the stream gets up, we're almost at 100 people. I think once we hit like 150, I'll jump right into it. But go over to that landing page that's on PNY and just check it out. Download the template. Okay, there's a template that you guys need to download because we're basically going to populate it with whatever the heck you guys want to populate it with. You can see my desktop right here. This is basically what you should see, you know, minus all the rendering, the graphical rendering and whatnot. You know, it's basically just this little setup right here. It's a looping animation, 87 frames, and we're going to basically build out this environment. You guys have 4 weeks to do so in the coolest, most detailed way you can, all right? We got about 125 people in here. It's building fast. I think I'm just going to get into it. So, guys, it's a freaking render contest, okay? It goes for the next 4 weeks. This week is the first week. I will be announcing the winners, I believe, if I were to check my calendar here, in the next, I believe it's the fifth weekend from right now. But it's called Parallel Dimensions, all right? And the reason it's called Parallel Dimensions is because each and every one of you guys are going to go to the landing page that PNY has made and provided for this contest. It's in conjunction with PNY and NVIDIA. I'll talk about the prizes in a second, okay? Go there. Download the template, all right? So you should download the template, and you should be seeing this right here. We got a mountain way off in the distance, and we have a character here in the foreground. And the idea, okay, it's 30 frames per second here, and it's 87 frames. You might have 88 frames, but 87 frames is the loop, all right? That's the perfect loop. The idea here is that all of you guys are going to build out this environment with the coolest environment you can possibly think of. You can make it like a moon scene, an astronaut walking on the moon towards a giant mountain. You can make it a lush garden with a character going through, maybe like Castle in the Sky, Studio Ghibli kind of style. You could do like a torn down, post-apocalyptic, war-torn city, whatever you want. The only thing you guys have to keep in mind, well, you have to keep a lot of things in mind, but you cannot touch the mountain, all right? Don't change the position of the mountain. Don't come up in here and be like, you know, the mountain would be sick like over here. I think that'd be cool. No, you got to leave it right here, okay? And same for the character, all right? The bones and the skeleton, they must stay the same. You can't take the character and be like, you know what, I think it'd be cooler if, like, you know, the character was like a little closer and I saw it from this angle. It's not going to work if we don't all work from the same template. Think of it like a coloring book, and we're just going to be cutting to all the different pages in the coloring book, but it's the same piece of art, right? So I'm going to cut together the 20 coolest renders, and set it to some cool music, maybe add some sound effects, and post it as a standalone video on this channel here and feature the top 20 creators that put in the best work, that really deserved that spotlight, that feature spotlight, right? So it's going to be cool because the mountain's going to stay the same and the character is going to stay the same, but the environment will be changing around the character, which is why it's called parallel dimensions, right? So you have this one character moving towards a mountain in the distance, but this is happening in a bunch of different realities, a bunch of different dimensions, because it's cutting between all these different environments, right? So that's the idea, all right? I can get into a bit more specifics of the details on stuff as we go, but I do want to talk about the prizes, all right? So let me pull up the Parallel Dimensions webpage that the PNY team did a fantastic job putting together. And let me just actually grab the stream here. I'll pop this out. Here we go. All right. So if you guys have any questions on what this is or very technical specific questions, you guys know I have a Discord server that you guys can go to, and there will be, you can ask in the help section. You can @ me. It's just @Clint on my Discord server, and there will be a Parallel Dimensions channel or like list of channels where we can actually post our work in progress, very similar to the weekly challenge, but this will be over a month's time, okay? So if you go to the landing page, you can scroll down, get a little bio. Who am I? Most of you guys know who I am, so you can skip all that. What is Parallel Dimensions, okay? So I briefly explained it to you guys, but the page goes into a bit more detail here. But it basically explains what I was telling you guys. But right here, download the template. You can click this, you can download the template, and you'll basically have a folder with a couple files, okay? So in this folder, if I open up this folder, download WinRAR if you guys can't read RAR files, right? Open up Parallel Dimensions, okay? And you're going to see assets. And in here, if you have Cinema 4D, great. Open up this same project file that I'm working in right here. It's just one for one. And then there's an FBX, all right? So the FBX, you should be able to open in Blender or any other 3D program. If for whatever reason you cannot see this mountain, sometimes the scene is pretty big because the mountain's pushed back pretty far, okay? So for me, I know that if I were in Cinema 4D under project settings and my view clipping was set to medium, I'm not going to be able to see a piece of that mountain. If it was set to small, I'm not even going to be able to see the mountain, all right? And if it's set to tiny, I'm not going to see anything. So set your clipping mode to large. You'll be able to see the whole scene. Some of you guys said that the camera was turned around backwards in Blender. You're just going to want to turn it around to full 180. The FBX can be a little tricky. It might be a little tricky. I think the head on the actual character is flipped around backwards for some reason. And I was trying to troubleshoot that all last night, but I couldn't figure it out. The file will be updated early next week, okay? So if you guys have any technical errors with the file, that file will be updated early next week. But that's not going to stop you from working on this because most of this is environment work. If you can get this general look right here, you can begin working on the contest right now with me here today on the stream, okay? So, I guess more technical details. It's got to be 2.37 aspect ratio. Don't render it at like frickin' 960 by whatever. Give me a 1080 by 810 full quality render. You can go up to 4K if you'd like. But guys, enough of the chit chat. All right, let's get into the prizes because that's the whole reason I pulled up this page here. It's easy to get sidetracked on these streams. There's a whole lot to talk about. So, prizes. What are you guys gonna win if you win this thing? Now, first I must mention that the prizes are U.S. only. I know that sucks for a lot of you guys. I know, but it has to do with legal whatnot on the PNY side. It's just one of the restrictions that are that it just has to be. It has to be. Now, if you are international and still want to join the contest, you are very welcome to join and still submit work. You can still be featured in the final video, the final montage that I'm going to be putting together. And you can still be featured by PNY and NVIDIA because your guys' work will be uploaded to this landing page right here, right? But prizes, US only for the time being. I apologize to anyone international. I know I have a lot of international folks, all right? But to those of you in the US, first place, you guys get an NVIDIA Quadro RTX 4000. Now, NVIDIA, they actually sent me a Quadro 6000, and I freaking love it. It has allowed me to render larger scenes, use more programs at once, higher resolution, 8K textures, and seamlessly be able to work as smoothly as possible. So the Quadro technology is incredible, and they want to share it with you guys as well. So second place, you guys get an NVIDIA Shield TV Pro. This is basically allowing you guys to upscale with some AI technology, any sort of videos. It's basically a streaming hub, right, that you connect to your TV. And you can upscale 720 to 1080, 1080 to 4K. It also has Ultra HD. So this is a super cool product that allows you guys to, consume all of your content in a really awesome way, in the most highest of quality. The third place prize will get a 1 terabyte SSD. And if you guys don't know about SSDs, basically, SSDs have no moving parts, right? They're solid state drives, whereas HDDs, they have the spinning disks, right? The SSDs will work a lot faster, so you can put like your operating system on an SSD and boot up all your programs a whole lot faster. So that's an awesome prize. And then for fourth and fifth place, just as honorable mentions, PNY, they want to throw you guys these 256 gigabyte flash drives, USB 3.1, super fast, just as a thank you for, putting in the hard work, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of awesome stuff from you guys. And down below, if you keep scrolling, you'll see more details, rules, and all this goodness. There's some work that you guys have seen before, and you can enter here, upload your files, your final files, 100 megabyte limit. So that was a lot. So I hope you guys are excited about this. I'm freaking excited about this. I really want to give a shout out to PNY and NVIDIA for making this possible. And the reason I want to do this, okay, I want to make something awesome with you guys. I think it'd be really, really cool to do a collaboration project together. I'm going to make one of these myself. All right. Obviously I can't win my own contest, but I'm going to make one of these myself with you guys, over the next few streams here, and really just push our creative ability to the max. All right. And we're going to push each other. Definitely go to the Discord server and post your works in progress. And this is going to be a fun month-long project for us to do together. And then I'm going to compile all the best work into one awesome montage. All right. So that is the plan. It doesn't matter what program you use. I don't care if you use Blender, 3ds Max, Maya, Cinema 4D, whatever. As long as you keep this mountain right here and this character right here, you can switch the character out for any character you want. It doesn't matter. As long as the character stays in this position, moving at this pace with these specific bones right here, right? That's the whole point. All right. This is going to be fun. I hope the international guys don't get too hung up on the fact that it's a US prizes only. Apologies. I know it sucks. Apologies. But I hope it doesn't stop you guys from making something awesome and working hard and getting better at your craft, because I'm there with you. All right. We're going to do it together. We're going to do all this together, and it's going to be sick. About to use Google SketchUp though. Dude, that's hilarious. I mean, hey dude, if you can keep the mountain and the character there, like do what you want to do, man. Just make it awesome. Make it look super cool. As long as it cuts together and is a nice match cut between all these different renders that you guys are putting out, then it's going to be awesome. The non-US prize is healthcare. Toby, you are absolutely correct. Yep, yep. All right, so guys, give me some thumbs ups. We got Sotomonte in the house. He is a moderator of my Discord server, and he's also moderating the chat here. So thank you to Sotomonte for doing this. Yeah, if you guys are good, give me some thumbs ups. All right, if you're ready to go, give me some thumbs ups, and we're gonna get started and figure out what the heck we're gonna do for this scene here. All right, we're going to gather our reference material, and we're actually going to create something in Photoshop to give us just a brief kind of layout of what we want to do, right? Because I don't want to jump into this too quick, start adding details that I don't really know. I want to get a kind of a blurry, quick little view of the scene I'm going to create first, and then I'm going to go for it. So y'all, we got thumbs ups. We got lots of thumbs up. Heck yeah, guys. Heck yeah. I'm excited for this. Very, very excited for this. Aniket, yo, you just watched the new VFX Artist React. Glad you liked it, man. Super cool. Super cool. Seiran, the mountain axes are not in bottom of mountain. Hey, that's cool, man. You just got to move that axis down. You know, you're probably using the FBX. Probably in Blender. Now, what I might do for you guys, I might actually get a legit Blender file. Someone who actually has Blender. Deeren, I know one of our other mods has Blender, so maybe I can work with him to like get a perfect Blender setup going here. But for today, as long as you have something that looks like this, you guys are fine, all right? Because we're going to create some concept art in Photoshop together and make, basically, we're going to sketch out our plan for what we're going to do, all right? Yes, you can use custom characters. You can definitely use custom characters. The point is to use custom characters, right? This guy's just a placeholder. Okay, so obviously another note, don't move the camera. I should have put a lock on that. You don't want to move the camera. So this character is just a placeholder, you know? My plan, I'm going to photo scan myself with like all my hiking gear, and I'm going to put myself in the scene, and then I'm going to embellish it with some like sci-fi looking stuff, maybe some like Sam Porter Bridges action, maybe a little Death Stranding action, you know, we'll see. But I'm going to definitely change the character, and you guys should too, all right? Give the character hair, give him some pants, give him a cool shirt, give him a backpack, make it a robot, all right? It doesn't matter as long as that character is utilizing these bones right here, right? That's all that I care about. That way it'll just match cut between all the renders when you pop into this. In this view, I'm going to give this thing a protection tag on the camera so we ensure we don't move that around. All right, so you guys are good to go. Does the animation have to loop? It should look like it loops. The mountain's going to pop just a little bit on reset, but the character should look like he's looping. Or it's looping, I guess. The overall idea is that all of your guys' animations are going to look like they're looping, except the background is going to change every time. I hope that makes sense. Soto, yeah, you can retarget the bones into a different rig. Absolutely. If what you mean by that is a different skin, like you can change out the character, but the bones have to be the same. The bones have to be moving the same. As long as you have a character right here that's walking towards the mountain that's generally this size at this place with the same walk cycle, then we're good. All right. Time. How much time do we have? All right. Let me give you an actual timeline on this. Okay. I'm just pulling up my calendar just to double check. So, on this stream, we're talking contest. All right, next stream, I'm going to be working on this, going into detail on this on the next stream as well. Saturday the 24th, the weekend before Halloween, will be a standalone video. And then Saturday the 31st, Halloween, is going to be the final week to work on this contest, right? So Halloween is the final reminder to get your submissions in, because on Saturday the 7th, I'm reviewing all the submissions. Saturday, November 7th is the drop dead deadline, all right? And if you cut it down, if you cut it to the morning of the 7th, you cut it too close, all right? I'll still accept it as long as I can open it up and watch it and review it on the stream. I'm going to go through all of your guys' work on November 7th and look at everything, all right? And I'm going to give you guys breakdowns of what I think's good, what I think's bad, and I'm going to critique everything. And I will announce the winners, the top 3 winners on the November 7th stream, okay? And the 4th and 5th place runner-ups for those 256 gig flash drives, okay? So November 7th, that's the stream where I'm announcing the winners, all right, guys? So don't slack. Do not slack, all right? Put some work into this. Make it awesome. Make this the coolest thing you've ever made. Also, which frame rate is the render supposed to be at? It's at 30 frames per second. 30 frames per second is the frame rate. All right, so if you guys are using FBXs in Blender, it might be a little janky. Your character might be floating. Get them on the ground. Your head might be backwards. Rotate it back forwards, all right? It should look like this, all right? It should look like this. I'm going to make sure that come early next week, all right, you Blender folks will have a file that you can download that will look fine, all right? But for now, we're okay with this, all right? As long as you can see something that looks very, very, very similar to this, we'll be okay. Because it's time to hop into Photoshop and figure out what the heck we're gonna do. All right, let's make this happen. So let's open Photoshop here. I'm also going to download, or not download, I'm also going to go to Pinterest. And we're going to gather a bunch of different reference material, okay? So, what are we gonna do? We can literally do anything we want to do for this environment. We're gonna build out this environment in the coolest way possible. And we want to fill this out with some awesome art, okay? Sweet. So, over, the last couple days, I was thinking what I'm going to do for my environment. And the first thing I'm going to do is gather reference material in order to, guide my decisions throughout the entire process. It's the reference material is going to keep me on a straight path throughout my entire creative process. All right. Now, this is true for basically everything. No matter what you're creating, if it's anything serious, for a job, or if it's something that you're like really going to put time into and want to make it look good, you want to gather reference material. All right. It's going to guide us on the creative process. So I'm just going to go ahead and look up on Pinterest. I'm going to look up swamp. All right. And there is not many pictures that give me the vibe I want. I'm thinking of Never-Ending Story Swamp, something like that. Never-Ending Story Swamp. Yes. Okay, something like this. Something like this. So the cool thing about Pinterest is, it'll give you different references for similar images, and you can save these and all that, but it looks like a lot of random crap right now. I think we need to build out our reference list and hone it in a little bit more. Tom, thank you for the super chat, brother. Really appreciate it. He says, as a Blender noob who wants to try this, thanks for getting us a Blender file next week. Yes, I got you. I'll make sure you guys have a solid Blender file. Heck, I'll download Blender and do it myself, all right? I'm going to make sure you guys are good to go, all right? But right now, let's gather some reference material together. PC! Perf! Yo! Welcome. I'm glad you joined me live for the first time. I started this back in March. It's about time. It's really about time, so I really appreciate it. Okay, let's keep looking up swamp. So we got Never Ending Story Swamp. If you guys have never used Pinterest before, it's actually pretty sweet. So I'm going to create a new, let's save, no, I don't want to save it to door hardware. Let's make a new board. We'll create, let's see. How the heck? Board. Let's call this parallel dimensions, and we'll create that, okay? And I'll save this to the parallel dimensions board, all right? And I'm just gonna go through and save images that I think clearly define the look I'm going for. I definitely want this like swampy vibe with the trees. I think it could be really cool. So I'm gonna make sure I save this to the parallel dimensions board. Awesome, saved. Now it's starting to get a little more honed in. It looks like this is like the one shot. By the way, this scene is so freaking sad. I don't know if you guys remember this scene or have ever seen this movie, but this wrecked me as a kid. This, oh God, just looking at that image, jeez. All these ads, all these fitness ads. It's like half of it is just like workout ads. All right, let's keep going. Dark swamp. Let's try this. Ooh, this is cool. I like this. I like this a lot. So saved it to parallel dimensions, and I'm just going through and just gonna add up some stuff. Now, I definitely took inspiration from the game Journey with the mountain in the background, but I'll get into a little bit of the mountain stuff soon here. The Mad Max swamp is a good one. This one here. You guys know this one, right? This scene from Mad Max. Super creepy, super swampy, but it's got the vibes I'm feeling, definitely. So I'll save that. Now, I can keep going on this, and I probably will, but let me talk about the mountain real quick. So I want the mountain to actually give us a warm cast because of lava. So kind of like Mount Doom, a little bit like Mount Doom. So I'll definitely save this into the parallel dimensions board. Yeah, I mean, something like this would be incredible. Maybe it's smoking. Yeah, maybe it's like steaming like this. But I like how it's like there's basically like a storm in the background, and you have this warmth from the mountain, but the foreground I think will have some cool like swampy cool vibes, right? And maybe there's some lights in the foreground, like maybe there's a village, some sort of village in the foreground. Maybe there's tents or something. But let me look up, well, let's do Mount Death from Breath of the Wild. Is that the name of it? Death Mountain. That's the one from Zelda, right? Yeah. Very similar. Very, very similar. This looks like a good source of inspiration. World of Concept. Hey, is anybody having an issue where the mountain is flickering in or out, or is not supposed to do that? Yeah, you just want to change your clipping size for your viewport settings, all right? So your viewport setting clipping size might be set to medium, set it to large, all right? If you're using Cinema, you can hit Control D and go to your project settings, scroll down just a little bit, and under view clipping, just set that to large. Otherwise, it'll look like this, you know? All right, back to those references. Now you guys know me. I'm all about the atmosphere and the fog and all that good stuff. So I'm definitely going to have some bit of that, like probably some low-lying fog. I will probably reference Quixel's Rebirth trailer. They have a really cool, I mean, man, this just looks incredible. I mean, this whole trailer is incredible. Oh, man. That is awesome. I'm just going to save that. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but that's cool. And the whole point here is to get, oh God, this is sick too. God dang, Shadow of the Colossus. The whole point here is to get inspired and get as many different ideas together as you can, all right? Because we don't want to just go with our first idea. We want to trial and error. We want to test all these different ideas in order to sift through and find the golden nugget, all right? And that's what I'm doing right now is I'm going through and I'm finding all this. I'm going to save this to parallel dimensions as well. This is a vibe I'm kind of going for. Yeah, usually I'd save this to my fog board, but for now, it's going to have to be parallel dimensions. Oh, man, this is all such good stuff. These ads are so dumb, though. Come on. Wow. All right, so we were talking fog, all right? We wanted the Quixel Rebirth. They have like a really nice low-lying fog that I like. I think it's this image. It's like this kind of stuff. It's this like halfway fog that you'll see. This is just an incredible trailer. If you guys hadn't already seen this, it's amazing. There it is. There's that fog. You see that? That low-lying fog right there. I'm just going to save this whole trailer. But let's look up Death Stranding for some costume stuff. This is great. That's so good. Oh, this is cool. I'm saving that. I think that's awesome. I love that vibe. Ah, that's so good. Wow. Yeah, definitely save this. We'll definitely save this guy. Let's type in backpacking hike. What would I call this? Backpacking gear, maybe? I want to get like the biggest backpack I can possibly imagine. Huge camping bag. Nah, these are all ads and stuff. Mountain rescue, maybe. Oh, interesting. Maybe it's like a rescue mission. Ah, okay. This is interesting because this is when you start getting into the story, all right? If you guys can get a story around your render, bonus points, all right? So maybe, I'm going to save this. Maybe it's a one-man rescue mission and the person they have to rescue is on the mountain or something like that, okay? And maybe they're passing through a village and it's someone from the village. They went and they're lost or something, and you have this character going through trying to rescue the villager that's way, way out. So maybe I'll try and figure that out a little bit. For a village, you will want tents. Village tent? TP. How do you spell TP? TP? TP tent. God, these are all like fancy, modern, traditional TP. All right, so for those of you guys just joining, I'm gathering reference images here. Let's take a look at all the reference images I have. How? It's been a minute since I've used this. Here we go. All right, so I'm gathering reference images for this environment I want to build out. And it is a contest. So you guys need to build out an environment as well. We're doing this together over the next 4 weeks, okay? And I want this character to be walking through a swamp, maybe passing some teepees, with some warm light coming from the inside, maybe some villagers standing by. And in the background, you have a volcano, right, going off here. And there's some creepy trees and stuff going off into the distance. And I think the best way to do this is definitely to gather as much reference material as possible. Because then we can really start figuring out what the heck we're going to do. Because we're going to come into Photoshop and we're going to paint some stuff in, all right? So that we can get a good idea of what the heck we're going to do. So how is everybody doing? Are you guys hanging in there? Are you guys gathering reference material? Are you just watching me gather reference material? I hope I'm keeping this somewhat entertaining. But we have a good bit of viewers today. I think that's really good. That's nice. What's the theme? Paper Pags asks. Well, the theme is whatever you guys want it to be. You guys are going to create an environment. You're going to fill out this environment however you see fit. All right. There's a link to a landing page that PNY created. It's right in the description, top of the description of this video. And you can get all the breakdown and all the info on this contest and how you can submit your work, how you can join. You're going to download an asset pack and you're going to basically open up this in your 3D program of choice. If you've never used Blender before, if you've never even used 3D before, consider downloading Blender and learning along with me. Maybe you could win. We got some awesome prizes. It's going to be a good time, guys. It's going to be a very good time. Tinem is thinking of something space-themed. Cool. Let me ask you guys. I'm going to ask you. Do you have any ideas on what you want your environment to be? Go ahead and list them out, and I'll read them out. Maybe we can do a little bit of brainstorming together. Because at the end of the day, that's the whole point of this. I want to do this with you guys together, okay? Jacob, I am running this contest. Yeah, it's the Parallel Dimensions contest that I started with the help of PNY and NVIDIA. We're doing it together. So it's very, very exciting. Very, very exciting. All right, a floating city. VFX Wizard wants to do a floating city. That's cool. I'm down for that. Yeah, feel free to add as much stuff as you want. Like, don't move the mountain around. Don't rotate the mountain or anything. We want to keep it where it is. But have some floating stuff around it. You know, that'd be cool. I think that'd be super sick. Your character could be walking across a bridge that is, you know, in the clouds. And the mountain may be the only thing you see in the distance. And to the left and right, it might be floating city stuff. I think that'd be sweet. A medieval battlefield, that's going to be intense. Very, very intense. Just walking through a bunch of people fighting, that'd be super cool. A Wild West scene. Daniel wants to do a Wild West scene. I think that's awesome. Very, very cool. Lots of good stuff on Quixel Bridge for you to download. They have a lot of nice Wild West themed elements. Render Warrior wants to make it a Bob Ross painting. VFX Wizard, Steampunk Metropolis, very cool. William, Blade Runner inspired. I'm down. I'm super down. Tyler wants something like Crash or Spyro. Those are some of my favorite games of all time. Yep, William with the Blade Runner. Jay Boz, what's up, dude? You just lighting it on fire, just the whole scene. What else do we got? Alpha Matt, you want to do a World War II scene? Very, very cool. Yeah, that could be sweet, like some Saving Private Ryan something. VFX Wizard talking about Hogwarts. Denso wants Atlantis. Jacob, ooh, a time-stopped rainstorm. That's pretty sweet. Heck yeah. Random rotation. I'm thinking about something like the Fountain, this super cool spaceship thing. That could be sweet. How about Giant Gods Valley Battlefront? How about it? Could be anything you guys want to do. I just want to make sure you guys are clear on what this contest, what Parallel Dimensions is, what you can win, and what's required of you. Yeah, just want to make sure that you guys are all clear on that. I don't want it to be confusing to anybody. But I'm going to hop back in and let's keep gathering reference material. We're going to piece this together in Photoshop in a minute. And it's a little difficult to think while I stream because I definitely want to be entertaining. I don't want to bore you guys, but at the same time, I really want to put thought into the scene here. So this image here from Mad Max. This is a really good vibe. I like the detail here in the foreground. It's wet and muddy. And I love the crows. I'm definitely digging all these crows here. I think this is awesome. As far as the trees go, they're very sparse, but I think maybe what we could do is get to a point where the trees start to open up a bit more. Or not open up, but the trees actually get a bit more dense. And turn into something like this. So maybe the foreground is kind of like this vibe, but then once you get to the midground, we get this chunkier, muddier setup with these trees, and then it kind of goes off into fog, a low-lying fog, like we see in the Rebirth trailer. Something like this in the middle. You see this fog layer on the horizon, something like that. And off into the background, we see, kind of stormy clouds like this. And maybe in the middle of this mountain here, so we have this mountain, maybe there's a storm layer here, there's a fog layer here. And at the top of this mountain, maybe what we could do is have it peek out and look something like this. This is absolutely incredible. And this is the vibe that I want to go for, because I definitely want to have a natural lighting contrast. The blue will come from the overcast vibes that you'll see like here and here. This is really blue. But we're getting that cool vibe here. And I think the warm vibe will come from the actual lava that's coming from the mountain, as well as some like teepees and like a small village in the foreground. I think could be really cool. As far as the character goes, it'd be really cool to do, let's see, some Sam Porter Bridges kind of a character. I want to photo scan myself with all my hiking gear on and start from there, all right? And I want to add a little bit of light sci-fi elements to that. I think this is too much on the sci-fi angle. I want it to be just a little into that sci-fi realm. And I want to be able to tell a story of a traveler like this going towards this mountain in the distance, who is trying to rescue somebody or save somebody. So that's my goal with my render, in a nutshell. Nihal. So it is. It's an international contest, though. International entries cannot win the prizes. The prizes are limited to U.S. only for a number of reasons, mostly like some like legal reasons and whatnot. Apologies on that. I wish it could be international prizes as well, but you can still join if you guys are from India. I know a lot of you guys are from India. Maybe you're from Canada. You can still be featured in the final video that I post Because at the end of all this, I want to take everyone's best renders, the top 20 renders, and put them together for the ultimate audio-visual montage. And you can still certainly be included in that when I post that on my channel. And then, you guys can also be featured by myself. I'm going to go through everybody's work, critique everybody's work, and you'll be featured by myself, PNY, and NVIDIA. Like, that's fine. It's just the prize pool. I think there's just a legal thing with that doesn't allow international prizes to be sent out. So apologies to my international fans. I know I have a lot of you. Yeah, it's cool. We can still learn. We can still grow together. So let's keep it up. Let's keep up this good work. Awesome. We're at a nice number. We got nearly 300 people in the stream. Let's hop into Photoshop and build out some sort of scene that we want to make based off of these reference images. Okay, so I'm in Photoshop here. I'm actually hitting F to cycle between these different viewing modes. So let's see here. And this is a template, by the way, that or like some wallpaper that's provided for you guys when you download the project assets on the landing page, the Parallel Dimensions landing page. You can, download these backgrounds and whatnot. So let's bring the images, our reference images, into Photoshop. So I'm going to go ahead and save out some of these ones that I know I'm definitely going to use. All right, so I think we can start with this one here. Go ahead and save this. And it will be assets and reference. And we definitely want this image here. We're going to piece all these together. And let's go ahead and grab, let's see, I'll grab the Breath of the Wild one as well. All right, and maybe, let's see. Might grab this guy. Maybe I need a village. I need like something for the village. Last of Us 2 Island. All right, if you are trying to stay away from Last of Us 2 spoilers, then you might want to just chill for a second. I'm trying to find a very specific image here. This game was amazing. Such an incredible game. Yeah, I basically want some foreground, some warm foreground elements. Let's see. What would this be? It'd be like a medical pop-up. What would you call this? Like in Mission Impossible at the end, medical tents at night. Maybe we draw these in. We'll draw those in. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in these main images here. And see what I can't build out. Let's start with the mountain. And a pro tip here, so if I erase this image and I come back later and I realize, oh crap, I didn't want to do that, and you can't just undo because it was too long ago, basically go down here in Photoshop and with the layer selected, you can go ahead and make, what is this called, a clipping mask maybe? A layer mask. So click that, you'll make a layer mask, and now with the layer mask selected, specifically this little window, you can grab the paintbrush, and depending on if you paint black or white, it will erase or reveal certain parts of your image. So I can erase it by painting black, and then I can actually bring it back by painting white. That way you're never losing work, right? You're working as non-destructively as possible. So let's go ahead and sketch this in. So I'm just going to bring it down to about, yeah, something like that. We'll bring it in here. And I want to paint black to erase. Something like that. Oh, you see I'm painting black over the image. You want to select the layer mask. And then it'll actually, looks like it's going to be white in this case. No, black, yeah. So we have our mountain back there. We'll ease out those edges. And I want to get like a general kind of ambience going here. So we can pull up our Mad Max image. And Sid, hey, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate you, man. It says, Clint, be real with me. Are you growing your hair out? If so, good on you. Anyway, enjoy the streams, man. Keep it up. I was trying to grow my hair out. I still am trying to grow my hair out. But it's getting to be a little wily at this point, and I might be giving up on the hair, guys. I might be going back to a shorter haircut, which a lot of people, my fiance, would be very happy to hear. But hey, it's all right. It's all right. So I'm gonna lower the saturation of this image. I think it's too blue, and I want that mountain in the background. Let's see. Let's lower the opacity of this. We definitely want our character moving up. So our horizon actually is lining up pretty perfectly. So something like this. I'm gonna go ahead and make a new layer, and I'm gonna go ahead and darken certain parts of this image. So actually, let's duplicate it. Control J will duplicate it. And I want to do this as non-destructively as possible. So let's grab the burn tool, I believe. And we want to get the mid-tones and just kind of like pull those out. And it looks like it's just desaturating it. So maybe this is a vignette situation, right? So we'll make a new layer and we'll just paint a large black brush at a low opacity over all of this. And it's kind of doing the same thing. Something like that. We definitely want to get rid of this guy, so I'm going to content aware fill this dude out. I'm going to select him. Control Shift backspace, or no, Shift backspace. Make sure your content is select to content aware. Hit OK, and he should disappear. I also want to get rid of this tree. Let's get rid of this guy, and this will kind of just be like our general ambient kind of feel. And this isn't supposed to be perfect. This is just going to get us a quick look at the vibe we're going for, okay? Now the black bars, I do want to keep. That's why we're doing submissions at the 236 aspect ratio, okay? So I'm going to keep these black bars in. And I am certainly no concept artist. I'm not a matte painter. I wish I was. There's some really incredible dudes out there. There's a guy, Aton. What's his last name? Aton. An incredible concept artist. And I actually got to speak with him for a video I'm putting out for you guys later this year. And this is just Aton Zana, I believe, is his name. And he just does incredible work. Definitely look up his work. He's incredible. I'm no Aton, but we'll do what we can here. So let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. This obviously doesn't look right. So we want to make sure we kind of just get the vibe. And we can paint these things out. We can just select that color and get rid of that. We want a nice cloudy sky. I think let's bring this mountain back in just a little bit. So there we go. That's why we do this, right? So maybe the lava is running towards the city or something. Something like this. I think this needs to be tinted just a little bit. So if I actually make this a smart object, oh, let's undo that. Maybe I'll just say screw it. Tint it blue, just a bit. Something like that. Now these trees, definitely, we need a bit more of those trees, all right? So let's go ahead and reference, where are you at? Let's go ahead and reference our swamp images. So stuff like this, like the droopy tree look, is a good one. Something like this maybe. These kind of trees. We'll save that. This is cool. So Pinterest is definitely your friend here. It's going to give you a lot of inspiration and allow you to, see different angles that you didn't see at first. Okay, so this is interesting. This is kind of getting into that village vibe I'm going for. Oh man, I just saw a freaking cool image. This looks awesome. That is so cool. Not the vibe though. So this is all very busy. We want something a bit more subdued. Like we're getting into the realm of things here. So here's a lighting style I love, where the sunlight is peeking through the clouds. So I might try and get this look. Definitely gonna save that. This is a tough reference to find. I'm trying to find some like foreground like huts. And I'm not quite sure how I want the architecture to be. I don't know if I want it to be teepees or if I want them to be like, you know, tents. I think maybe looking up like Death Stranding camp. What are those guys called? What are the bad guys in Death Stranding called? I forget. They're called the guys who steal the packages. Dude, visual. I am so glad that you are going to be working on this contest. The work you put out is always incredible. I cannot wait to see what you do. Yeah, really, like this, guys. The whole point of this contest again is to work on something together. Because in the end, I'm going to be piecing all of the best top 20 submissions together into one awesome video that's going to be featured on NVIDIA's website. It'll be featured on PNY's website. I'm going to put it on my channel. So I really need your guys' help to make this as cool as possible. The more incredible renders I have, the better that final video will be, right? So Visual, I'm really excited you're doing this because your work is constantly incredible. It's so good. Yes, they're called mules. When is the last date? I announced the winners on November 7th, Saturday, November 7th. That's when the winners are being announced, okay? So you got to get your submission in before then. You basically have a month. We have about a month to do this. All right. The mule camp. I think that's what I'm going for. Death Stranding mule camp. Maybe that's a Google. Death Stranding mule camp. Like this kind of vibe. Like they're not teepees, they're not huts, but they're kind of like medical tents. Medical tent. Like this is pretty cool. That's pretty cool looking. Iraq medical camp. Not what I'm going for. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be a tough one to find. But it's cool. So we need a character here. We're gonna have a character in the foreground with some cool backpacking equipment. So let's see if I can't find something like that. So maybe we just find a hiker. Goodness. These ads, y'all. All right, we're getting closer. Is that Ben Stiller? It is Ben Stiller. I basically just need like this, but the opposite. Where we're seeing this person's back. So this is interesting though. Well, maybe what we do is let's go and let's find like a very similar image. Maybe we can just use this one here. And let's go ahead and cut this guy out. I'm going to use the magic wand tool, quick select magic wand, and I'm holding spacebar to move around the image, and I'm holding shift to add to the mask that I'm selecting. So I'm just going to cut this guy out really quick. And this is honestly the first time I've done a concept art thing like this, so it's really cool actually to take it super serious, you know, and do it legit. So it'd be something like this. So here's a tip. If I were to scale this guy down and scale him back up, notice the quality loss. But if I were to make him a smart object, scale him down and scale him back up, you don't lose the quality. So make sure you make stuff smart objects when you're editing them. All right, so this guy, we want to shrink down just a little bit, and we want to make him, let's see, we want to make this guy like a little darker. All right, so since he's a smart object, if I throw some levels on him and I make adjustments, it's a smart filter, so I can turn those on and off, hop back in and make those adjustments. So we want to darken him up to match this little branch, this tree branch here basically. So we'll go to blue, the blue channel, give him a little bit of coolness, and we'll just lift his little black levels just a bit, something like that. And I'd love to give this guy some lights, right? So maybe he has a couple layers where they're just like kind of like a bluish glow. Maybe he has something on his backpack. So we'll do maybe like I don't know, it could be on his hips. Oh, and the opacity. Let's make sure the opacity is 100. Could be on his hips like this or something, and then he could have like some interesting like lights on his backpack like this. And maybe on his hood or something. And it's very similar to Death Stranding. Very, very similar. You could also have like shoulder lights or something like that. Not sure if I like the head one. Get rid of that. Something like that. And then we can give him a shadow as well. We definitely want to give him a shadow. So we'll make a new layer. And we can sample the color here. I'm holding Alt with the paintbrush selected, and I'll sample the color there, right? And then if you do the bracket keys, open the bracket keys up, you can give him a little bit of shadow there. That might be too much. Let's see, what's the best way to do this? Probably a low amount of opacity. And I'm just kind of stacking it and getting a little closer like this. So that way we have a character in our scene quickly as good reference, right, for us to use. I think that actually, I'm kind of impressed with myself. That turned out kind of nice. Let's adjust the scale of this background real quick. I just want to open this up just a bit. Let's go ahead and clean up. Let's clean up these corners. Tom, yo, thanks for the super chat, man. Much appreciated. And yeah, dude, I got you on those Photoshop tips. I know a thing or two, just a little bit. Visual, yeah, there is a focal length. I think I chose... Where is it? It's a 20 millimeter lens. 20. It should be all set. The focal length is 20 millimeters. So basically, let's see if I grab the floor, and I just give it a bunch of subdivisions. You can see that there's some 3D movement in the foreground, which will keep the scene moving forward. It'll constantly be moving forward, and you guys will have a little bit of 3D parallax to work with. Ice cream paint job, dude. Super glad you're joining this. We need creators like you on this contest because you are gonna make this thing look super nice. You can add subtle lens distortion. Here's the thing. If you guys win this and I start piecing this thing together and I need a subtle change, I'll reach out and ask for a subtle change. Like, hey, take off the lens distortion so it works. But do your thing. Just don't make it too crazy. I think some subtle lens distortion is totally fine. And Santiago, what's up, dude? Thanks for joining. Greetings from Mexico. Heck yeah, man. Much appreciated. I hope you're enjoying yourself on today's stream. Guys, we got 340 people right now. This is a good one. This is a good one. Bob Gilbert. What's up, Clint? You are my hero, just learning 2D at the moment. Exciting stuff. Dude, keep it up, man. Keep it up. Very excited for you, Bob. Thank you for the kind words. Joe, does the foreground have to loop as well? No, it does not. It does not. You just need to populate this scene with an awesome environment. That's all I'm asking you to do. Change out the character. Just make sure the character, you use the same bones here, okay? Use the same bones. Throw some new skin on it. It can be a different character. I'm going to photo scan myself and put myself in place of this character. Embellish the mountain, make it look cool, but don't move the mountain around and say, oh, it looks better from this angle. Now leave it here, okay? Don't scale it up like this. We want to leave it like this, okay? Conbound23. Thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Hey, Clint, you and all the people at Quadro got me interested in VFX, and now I'm studying university, studying it because of you. Dude, that is awesome. That is so freaking cool to hear. I'm so glad. Yeah, keep it up. Keep it up. You guys are awesome. You guys are doing great. It's exciting to hear that you guys are getting inspired by all of this stuff and the work that we do over at Corridor. So it's very touching. I'm glad that we can have a positive impact on all of this. Winbush, dude, what's up, Winbush? What up? What up? Hey, man, we're doing a render contest. You should join if you have time. I know you're busy, but we're doing a sweet render contest, man. And I think you could crush it in Unreal. I'm just saying. Just saying. All right. Topher, how many different environments can you submit? I mean, you can submit as many as you want. I'm pretty sure you can submit as many as you want. You just can't win multiple times. That's it. Yeah. All right. So back into Photoshop, we're going to build out our scene so we can come back into Cinema and really have a road, a path to follow when creating, so we can save as much time as possible. So the only thing I'm missing here is like the camp, right? So I want to have, you know, some elements here and basically be able to have like maybe some teepees or something. I don't know. In the foreground, this is so janky. Some teepee huts here. It's basically like in Avatar. There's the episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the end of season 1, when, oh man, where is it? No, it's, I'm forgetting the episode. But there's a season where like there's a village nearby, and they're getting sick there or something. No. I'm not thinking of Avatar. I'm thinking of Klaus. There's that village in Klaus, outside of town, where they're delivering presents to that little girl. That village, that I think is what I'm going for. Can I even find that? Klaus Village. Okay, this is Animal Crossing. Yeah, the art in Klaus is just absolutely incredible. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but it is pretty mind-blowing. And they actually use some really cool creative tricks to make their 2D animation look like 3D animation. So maybe I'll go back to Pinterest. And we'll look up, oh, that's cool. Maybe there's like a water element to this. We'll save this. Parallel dimensions, awesome. And let's look up Klaus real quick. Klaus. With an E. Klaus movie. Yeah, so there's a moment here where they go to a village. I don't know if I'm going to find it on Pinterest because it's like very, very niche in a very small part of the movie. It's this character here. I don't know this character's name. Does anyone know this character's name? This little girl right here. It's the village where she's from. Maybe we just... do this the right way. What is her name? Okay, this girl. Margu? Yeah, all right. And then she has a village. Oh boy, this is deep, guys. It's like this. This is it. That's all I got? Jeez. This tiny image right here? Hey. Yeah, they're like teepee hut thingies. Well, we'll find it. Oh, it's a Sami village. Thank you, Waffle Doodle. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's what I need to be looking for. You guys are awesome. Let's just Google that. Yup. Okay, yup. This is the vibe. This is it. This is it. This is it. Look at this. Yup. The tiniest image. Hey. Should be able to search Google for this image. And we get similar looking images. All right, this is close. I think I need to just try Sami Village one more time. I mean, this is cool. I don't know what this is. That is awesome. Maybe maybe that's just in the scene somewhere. Like, that's pretty freaking cool. I don't know what that is. Like, maybe instead of like a village, it's these kind of structures scattered about. That is super cool. Oh, another thing I want too is actually some like telephone wires maybe. Let me stay focused. I can get very distracted. Let me try Sami Village one more time and make sure there isn't any good stuff for us. Sami Village Night. Mongolian Village Night. Yeah, maybe it's something like this. Like, this is pretty sweet. And then we'll piece these together in Photoshop. Yeah, this is okay. Okay. This is good. And maybe something like this. That's really tiny. All right, let's bring these into Photoshop and see what we can do, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring these guys in. So maybe we can go with this vibe right here. But maybe like that concrete vibe is better. Let's close these out. All right, so let's bring it on top. It's very tiny, but that's okay. And I'm just gonna go ahead and like position this, lower the opacity, and position it properly. Let's hit it with horizontal flip, image, what is it? Edit, transform, flip horizontal, yeah. Something like that maybe. And we'll just grab a large soft eraser and get rid of those edges. But I'm going to do it with the layer mask. So click the layer mask. Let's actually grab the brush tool. Make sure it's large and soft. The hardness is down to 0. And we'll paint black around the edges. Like this. And then we want to come in here and probably chop this up just a little bit because we don't want mountains in the background. We actually want just the silhouettes themselves. So just with the lasso tool coming through here. There we go. Holding spacebar to navigate all the way back around. Let's come in from this side. Cool. Holding shift to include those bits. And I'm going to hold shift to expand this a little bit more. And we can actually just paint it black. No, the other way around. So Control Shift I will invert your mask, and then you paint the rest of that stuff black. All right. And then we can bring the opacity back up. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. Oop. Go back in, grab that black brush. Make sure you get the top of that. Obviously, it's too bright, so we just need to composite it. So if we Control L and we just dim this guy down. Oop. No. The image itself. Control L. And we dim it down. We go to the blue channel and we give it some blue. Let's see. We want to remove the like yellow cast that it has. So it's like kind of like that. Again, I'm colorblind. So I feel like there's some magenta in here maybe. And then I think we can just darken it up overall. It's those highlights really that are kind of getting us. Right, and it's a sunny kind of situation, so. But it's like the outskirts of town, you know? And then on the inside, we could have a warm glow coming from in here. Mobius, yo, dude, much appreciated on the super chat. He says, hey, man, I don't know if you remember, but I had the Young Creator Show. He said to reach out on Discord. A friend requested, just letting you know. Great stuff. I totally forgot. I got so much stuff going on, dude. So apologies on that, dude. Go ahead and reach out on Discord again. Just send me a DM on Discord. I'll see it when I'm done with all this. And we'll see if we can't work out a time. Because I love doing stuff, little interviews with people and stuff. I think it's fun. Oh, Sotomonte, Control T and then right click and flip. It's faster. Okay, thank you. Control T, right click, flip. Oh, yep. Sotomonte knows what's up. All right, so I still feel like the color cast on this is off. So maybe it's that, and then the saturation just needs to come down. Is that worse? I can't tell. Maybe it just needs to be darker. And then I'll just go ahead and hit this a little bit more with that black brush. Very soft. Something like that. Cool. And then I want to give it some glow from the inside. Definitely want to give it a little bit of highlight from in here. So let's go ahead and let's reference the lava color. So I'll come in here, hold Alt, and we can grab this. It's really, we're going for like firelight. So there's all like campfires inside of these huts, I'm imagining. So I'm actually going to let's do a mask on a new layer. And I'll just mask out the insides of all this. This one too. And this one, maybe we see like some stuff on the top. Oop. Holding shift to add new masks. And I'm gonna go ahead and just yeah, color in that lava color. Right, and then you got a little something like that. You can duplicate it and then throw some blur down. Blur, Gaussian blur, and that'll make it feel a bit more realistic. A little bit of glow to it. Awesome. So there's just some subtle effects there. Now we want that like mid layer of fog. So I can come through here. Let's go behind the houses. And behind the character. And let's see if we can't add a layer of fog back here. So I'm going to sample the brightest blue I can. Right here. So probably like this color up here. Maybe this color here. And just with a really soft brush, with the opacity set, maybe the flow set down and the opacity set down. Let's come through with like a all-purpose brush. Yeah, that sounds good. It doesn't work for whatever reason. That's annoying. Charcoal brush. Sure, let's try this. Yeah, something like that. We'll set the flow way down, and we'll set the opacity down. And I'll take this color and I'll just give it a little bit. I'll desaturate it and brighten it just a bit. And we'll come through here and we'll give it. This is the wrong brush, let's be honest. Let's just go with a soft brush. I'll come through here and I just want to hit it with just a little bit of fog. You know, something like this. To where like you can barely see through. And that will give it a little bit of depth and atmosphere. I think we can maybe tone that down just a hair like that. Yeah, that feels good. And we can probably cool it off a touch. So I'm going to go Control U, which will give us our saturation. And we'll just saturate it just a little bit. But now when we go into Cinema 4D or Blender or whatever, this basically the smoke from the mountain up here is going to cast an eerie glow on the surrounding environment. Okay, so that's definitely something that we'll keep in mind. I don't know if I can replicate that here unless I start Googling some more volcano photos. Like having that that storm up there is really cool. Obviously, we're beyond the bounds of our image. So maybe what I'll do is let's go to Google and we'll type in, we'll stay on Pinterest. Let's try volcano and see if we can't get a large detailed image of the sky of like a stormy volcano or something. Maybe we're better off with storm clouds. Or maybe I Google volcano storm. Man, that'd be horrible. Could you imagine being caught in the middle of this? What on earth? Dude! How's that even real? It's terrifying. Smoky volcano. Let's be honest. This is what we want. That's so cool. Mobius, go ahead and just @ me in the help section on Discord. It's @ Clint. And I'll see it then. All right. I just want to make sure there aren't any other images that would work for our volcanic sky. And I'm sure there are. I just don't want to spend forever doing this with you guys. This here is the tiniest image I've ever seen. And this is a little bit bigger. But for whatever reason, it's just super tiny. All right. Maybe what I do is tint the sky in Photoshop. So I'm going to make a new, let's see, a new layer. Let's do a photo filter. And this will like kind of warm everything up. Let's go for more of a red orange. Don't know if this is the vibe quite yet, but let's go ahead and just paint the areas. So I'm gonna, with the photo filter selected, I'm gonna hit Control I, and that's gonna basically invert. Control I is invert, and that will invert this little layer mask here, which means black is it's invisible, white it's kept. All right, so I'm gonna paint white onto the black in areas where I think this would work. Something like that, maybe. Lower the opacity a little bit. That's still not the vibe, but it's it's kind of there. Let's lower the opacity of this brush, reverse it, and get some like blue back into our corners. And I think what we could do is probably have this volcanic lava here be reflected in our foreground. So in this layer, I can probably come through, I'll duplicate it, I'll crunch it down just so this blue is popping out, okay? And let's hit OK. Let's set it to screen. And that way it's really going to kind of like stand out there in the foreground. And I want to give it that layer mask again. And we'll go ahead and hit Control I so it's flipped. And we'll paint white back into the areas where we actually want that glow to be, right? So we want that glow right down the center line. And we want to tint it another color. So I'll hit Control U and we'll slide this, well, I'll slide the saturation all the way up. That's green. I don't know if we're going to get a white or a, let's cancel that. And let's set it, instead of screen, I'm going to set it to add. And then I'm going to duplicate it so it's really intense. Let's take both of those. Control E to bake them down. We'll set them to add again. And I'll come back in, Control U. I'll up the saturation, and then I'll try and find like a white. Oh, green looks cool though. So I think here's what it is. I think the saturation just needs to come all the way down. And Control L will basically brighten it up a whole lot. Crunch it down. Brighten it like that. Okay, and then I'm going to duplicate it and blur it. And maybe that blur we will tint. So maybe I can just what's the best way to do this? Let me try that again. We'll go to blue because we want that orange look. So that's yellow. So let's go to red. Or no, we gotta go to Gah. Okay, how do you make orange? It's looks blue. So we want, that's yellow. Red. That's kind of orange. There we go. So I'll lower the opacity. That's a little bright. Something like that maybe, where it's like kind of just reflecting off. And maybe it's a little intense. So I can get that clipping mask back and just erase it in the foreground, like the foremost ground. And then just have it in the background there. So it's before and after, like you're getting a little bit of that glow in the water, which I think is cool. So how's everybody doing? You guys doing okay? We got 333 people up in the stream. We're making cool stuff. We're basically making concept art for a 3D scene that we're going to create right here in any program you want, and it's for a contest. It's the Parallel Dimensions contest that I'm hosting, and I'm very, very excited about this because it's a chance to work with all of you guys there's a link to a landing page that PNY set up. This is in collaboration with PNY and NVIDIA. And we're giving out some cool prizes, some cool hardware to up your computing power. Basically, the top 3 people who make the coolest render with this template right here, which you can download on the landing page, link in the description, you guys are going to get some sick prizes. 4th and 5th place, you guys get some honorable mentions with some 256 gigabyte flash drives. And I'm going to compile all of your submissions together on November 7th. We're going to announce the winners, and I'm going to compile them together for a really cool audio-visual montage that I'm going to post on my channel the following week. All right, so definitely go to that landing page and, download the template, read up on the rules, join my Discord server. The link's also in the description. And if you guys have any questions on this contest, then I'm happy to answer them throughout the week, throughout this whole process. We have a month to make this look awesome, okay? Jay, what up, Jay? Jay, help me out, man. You've been helping me out a whole lot along this. I really appreciate it. Jay's super freaking cool. He's sneaking. He is sneaking and creeping in the chat. But Jay helped make this contest possible. If it wasn't for Jay, we wouldn't be doing this, guys. He's done a whole bunch for me, so I really appreciate you, Jay. He's done a really good job setting this whole thing up. So everyone, shout outs to Jay. Thumbs ups for Jay, everybody. How the rest of you guys doing? You guys doing okay? Are you guys gathering your references and your assets and everything? Are you excited for this? Are you going to be participating? So if you're participating, right, give me a, in all caps, I'm participating. Type it out in the chat. I want to see how many people are really going to commit to this render challenge. Who's going to win some prizes? Who's going to have their art featured? I'm going to go through every single one and critique them all one by one on November 7th. And let's be a part of something together. Let's combine all these videos into one and make something sweet. NVIDIA is going to post it. PNY is going to post it. I'm going to post it. It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be sweet. All right. VFX Wizard is participating. Oh my God. Silver Gaming participating. David's participating. Devlin. Abilash. Kazi, you will try. You will try. You must try. Who else? Varun. B. Burke. Waffle. Original. There's so many people. Mr. 400. Paul. Soto. If you don't have too many exams. James. You guys. Yes. I'm so excited. You guys are all participating. Thank you so much. It's going to be awesome. Paper, Pags. I will try. You must try. You can learn Blender for this. Mr. Charles is participating. Toby's participating. Sharon is participating. Jatin is participating. This is awesome. Very, very cool. Winbush, maybe. I understand. You're a busy dude. You just dropped your Unreal Engine MasterClass on mograph.com. So I get it. You're balling right now, man. You got a lot of stuff going on. Silver Gaming, you guys are awesome. And for everyone using Blender, okay? Again, I'm gonna have a Blender file for you to download early next week. You guys will know about it. Just join my. This is what happens, guys. This is what happens when you got a lot of stuff going in your head. You've been talking straight for the last 2 hours. Okay, join my Discord server. You're gonna join the Discord server. The link's in the description. If you have any technical questions about this contest, all right, I'm going to answer them in the Discord server. I'm going to make a whole new channel. And actually, Sotomonte, if you can hear me right now, can you create a couple different channels in the Discord server, like right now? Basically the subgenre or the genre will be called Parallel Dimensions Contest. And then we can do like a work in progress. We can do a help section. We can do a general, and basically a place for people to go to ask questions and show their work and all that good stuff. If you don't mind Sotomonte putting that together right now, that'd be awesome. We can organize a whole bunch of stuff together and make it easy for people. Sotomonte is the moderator, one of the moderators on our on my Discord server. He just does an incredible job. We also have Deeran. He's a good one too, man. Both of those guys really crushing it. So I can't thank you guys enough. So I mean, I think that's about the most of it here. You know, we created kind of the vibe we're going for, something like this. I definitely want to do something like this. Now the left side of frame, we can probably just like populate. Let me spend like 10 more minutes on this and get an image that I feel comfortable enough for me to jump in and start working in in Cinema 4D, right? After that, I'm going to go ahead and announce the winners of the Video Game Weekly Challenge. You guys had 2 weeks to put together an awesome piece of art inspired by the prompt video game. I'm going to go over those. There's also prizes for those winners. I'm going to choose 5 of you guys, okay? And I'm going to, you know, DM each and every one of you individually on Discord and get you guys one of my favorite video games on Steam. Hopefully you got Steam or something else. We'll figure it out. Just a little something small, not too big, nothing too crazy, but just as a thank you for winning and all the hard work you guys have put in so far. All right. So, did I line up the painting on my wall with the toolbar in Photoshop on purpose? I did not. But that's pretty sweet. I just realized it kind of works out, huh? Okay. Let's see about adding a couple more things to the image here. So this is definitely the village vibe here if we go with this route. So let me go through and basically chop out these huts. All right, so I'll do it quickly. Just to get a vibe, just to see if this is, you know, what I want to go for. These look like coconut roofs. All right, we'll give it a clipping mask and we'll invert it. All right, the next thing I'll do is go ahead and get rid of this with a black brush. All right, and then we'll go ahead and soften these edges on the side. And we'll pop these guys maybe a little further back in the distance here. Maybe something like that. And obviously we need to color correct these bad boys, so I'm going to Control L, drop them down. They're basically going to be like silhouettes in the horizon, and we need to give them some blue, something like that. And then maybe go for a little bit of desaturation. Cool. And then we'll give these guys the glow as well. All right. So I'll go through with the lasso tool, holding shift. I can add to the current mask that I have already. and I'll sample this color back here. We can actually add it to the same layer. So this will be our light layer, if I can find it. Something like that maybe, and we'll give those guys, wait, what did I think I added it to the wrong layer. Screw it. I gotta do it on its own layer. It's gonna be easier that way. Boom, duplicate and give it some blur, filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Something like that. So we could do something like, you know, little vibes like this. Or we could go with the, let me just try adding a bit of shadow to this. With a soft brush, very soft brush, large soft brush, low opacity, and we'll kind of just paint that in just a little bit of shadow for these guys to sit them onto the ground there. Cool. So that's one option. I'm gonna go ahead and save this actually. So we'll do, what would this be? Assets, versions. Maybe we'll do that. Versions. That's 1A. Now let's oh, definitely don't need to save it. No, do JPEG. Now let's try the Sci-fi version here where we have these guys instead of the huts. So I don't know what this thing is, but it looks super cool. Let's hide all this stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and save this Photoshop document just so I have it. All right. It's funny how as soon as you add lights to it, it turns sci-fi. All right, let's try adding these structures. Maybe this is like way off in the distance back here. And we'll give it that layer mask. I'm gonna go ahead and just bring down the brightness of this guy. Maybe something like that. And let's go ahead and chop it out. I'm gonna get rid of the background. Let's see. What's the best way to do this? Grab that. I'll go to the polygon lasso tool. I'm holding Alt to get rid of that little piece there, that selection. Same for here. We'll get rid of all that. And with that selected, basically what we can do is select the layer mask here in the layers window and color it in black. Oh, make sure opacity is full. All right, we want to invert the selection. So we're getting rid of that background. Okay, and then we'll Control-Shift-I, invert it again. And we'll take a really soft brush and just get rid of that foreground hard line. Cool. And then that feels about right. Control-D to undo, to deselect, basically. All right, and maybe something like that. We'll get rid of this. So we could do something like this and then maybe duplicate it and Control-T, horizontal flip. Put it on the other side, maybe scale it down so they're kind of like going off into the background. Like this. So there's multiple versions of them, and then we'll give them some shadow to ground them with a low opacity, large feathered brush. Just kind of come in here and like touch that up just a bit. Same here. Just a bit. And we'll take this background one and just darken it a little bit more. Pull some of that contrast out because there's a layer of fog in between us and that. And then we'll go blue and give it just a touch of blue, just a touch. And I think we can lose some of the blue on this foreground one, so I'll just desaturate it just a bit. So this could be an interesting vibe too, you know, going off into the background like that. So let me save this as a version and compare. I think I like the village version a lot better. Let me open up PureRef and see which we basically can compare these versions. All right, let's bring them in. So these are our two different versions. They're very similar. The lighting obviously is the same. I think it's just yeah, the sci-fi huts or yeah, I guess they're kind of sci-fi. there's a light sci-fi to it. But I feel like I like this first one. And we'll embellish the trees and everything, obviously, when we get into cinema. But the stone structure is pretty cool, too. I think this will develop as we go, but this is close. This is like a very good path for myself to follow for my render. You guys hopefully are doing something different. Now, that's definitely something I don't want you guys to do, is copy this right here. I don't want you to do this and submit this. You need to come up with your own submission, all right? So that's very important. Very, very important. Come up with your own submission. This is my path. I'm probably going to be going down something along these lines. But, man, how different can we make it? If we were to do a second version, you know, we could do this guy on a sky bridge somewhere with, like, tops of skyscrapers poking out from the clouds, leading them to this mountain in the background. That could certainly be a version. You could do a version where it's just like a super lush garden, and you're walking towards a waterfall in the midground, and then in the far back, like, there's this giant mountain, but it's kind of silhouetted by your trees in the foreground, right? So you can do so many different looks, so many different vibes. I'm really hoping that all these different submissions are different enough so that, like, we can cut between all these different looks. And that's the whole reason why it's called Parallel Dimensions, is because it's a different character moving towards a different mountain, but they are basically in different realities. You know, it's one person walking towards this mountain from all different times and places, from different people like you guys. So I think it'll be really, really cool. So with all that being said, I'm very excited. If you guys have any questions, the Discord server, there's a link to my Discord server in the link in the description below. And Sotomonte already did it. Congratulations. He did a Parallel Dimensions little channel, basically, where you guys can ask questions, ask for help. There's general, there's discussion, there's works in progress, all that good stuff. I'll be posting my concept art in the work in progress channel on the Discord server, so you can follow along. We can all follow each other's progress over the next month leading up to November 7th, when I basically, you know, go through and critique everybody's work, and I pick the 3 winners plus 2 runner-ups, and we dish prizes out to you. The prizes are US only, but you can still enter and create awesome art and be, you know, entered into the final video, which I'm going to put together all these different submissions, and it's going to be freaking awesome. I'm going to set it to some really cool music. I might even make some custom music for this. And in fact, I think that's going to be the case. So if you guys have any questions, go to the Discord server, ask the questions there. I don't want you guys to be confused as to what's going on. So this is the Parallel Dimensions contest with the help of PNY and NVIDIA. It's going to be incredible. So I'm going to stop there for today. All right. I'm going to keep working on it a little over throughout the week. And then next week, we're really going to dive into the 3D side of things, and really figure it out and start piecing things together and getting some cool looks. And then the final week, the week before, the week of Halloween, I'll be doing my final touches on this, on my submission. And we'll get them turned in. Make something awesome. So, with all that being said, guys, I think it's time to announce the winners of the weekly challenge for 2 weeks ago. It is the video game challenge, all right? Your challenge was to create a video game scene, right, with the prompt video game, obviously. And you guys had 2 weeks to do it this time. And there was some very incredible work. I think the extra week gave you guys a chance to really hone in your skills and show me what you got, all right? So let's go over these winners, guys. Let me minimize everything, get all this stuff out of the way. We can delete this. And let me open up, let me close this here. All right. So, the very first winner of the video game challenge, the weekly challenge, is John Malcolm 1970 with this amazing render. Dude, I love it. Look at all the detail in this thing, man. It's lit beautifully. It's composed beautifully. All of the pieces that you made for this, I think you said everything was custom made just for this challenge. This is wonderful. This is absolutely wonderful, man. I think you did an incredible job. You got your surface imperfections on your lamp here. This is great. Yeah, this makes me just want to play some old school games. So, John Malcolm, congratulations on this, man. You killed it. Once again, you are winning the weekly challenge, so you get the role of challenge winner on the Discord server, and you'll be rocking that for the next month, really, because we're going to be focusing on the parallel dimensions challenge over the next month. Okay, that's going to be the focus for all of us. Next winner we have is Job with this super scratched up Pokédex. I love it, man. I am such a huge fan of Pokemon. I played them all. When I was a kid, even into high school, I was playing Pokemon. I was actually playing Pokemon in the middle of the field during a track meet when I got called to the front line of the hurdle race. I missed it because I was playing Pokemon, and I actually stood up so fast and pulled off my sweat so fast that I actually pulled off everything. I pulled down my boxers and I flashed everybody in the stadium. It was horrible. It was very embarrassing. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was when I actually went to the starting line and I wasn't warmed up. I was cold. It was a cold night. And I'm at the starting line about to run a hurdle race, 100 meters. And I'm like, dude, I'm not warmed up. They fire the gun. I take off. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling it. Hop the first hurdle. All right, hop the second hurdle. Hop the third hurdle. Feeling good. Started to get passed by everybody. Start hitting hurdles, knocking hurdles down. Dude, by the end of that race, I came in last place, tripping and falling over the finish line because I was playing Pokemon. That's how much I love Pokemon. So, Job, fantastic job here with this render. Just maybe a little too scratched up. Everything's got scratches, man. Like everything's got scratches. They're a little deep, especially the map. I feel like the map would have more fingerprints than scratches. But dude, I think you killed it. Congratulations, Job. You got the challenge winner role for the next month. You'll be rocking that, so congratulations. All right, who do we have next? This was tough because I kind of chose 7 people, but I can only choose 5. So I'm really having to figure this out here. The next winner of the weekly challenge is Final Dearborn with this incredible render. I had to Google this to make sure it wasn't ripped or a copy of something because it looks so good. But dude, what a freaking job you did on this. This is Juggernog from Call of Duty. I had to look it up. I hadn't played too much Call of Duty. But it is indeed inspired by a video game. And it is incredibly rendered. It looks real. Straight up looks real. But he provided a clay render and materials as required on these contests. Because we don't want any cheaters, guys. We don't want any cheaters. I feel like you'll be banned if I catch you doing that. So don't get banned, guys. Don't get banned. Final Dearborn, congratulations on your incredible render. This is immaculate. I feel like I can grab this, pop it open, and chug it back right now. So you'll be getting the challenge winner role for the next month. Again, because we're focusing on parallel dimensions, render challenge. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good month. All right, next up, we got 2 more winners. And this is a tough choice because I'm looking at 4 people and I only got to choose 2. But I think I got to go with the VFX wizard. Dude, you made a freaking video, dude. It's well rendered. It's funny. It looks good. You actually got a claymation style going with this. Your animation is solid. And there you go. Yellow was the imposter. This is from Among Us, if you guys are playing Among Us. I know we play a lot on Node. It's a really fun game. I enjoy it. I'm not that good at it. But, yeah. The VFX Wizard, I think you did a really good job on this, man. Everything's solid. Everything's solid. The only thing I think could be better is this shot right here. This angle right here. Personally, I would do like this is just pure taste at this point. Instead of it looks like a CG camera angle. That's all. That's the only reason I don't like it. Again, it's not bad. It's not bad. I just think you could probably imagine like you're in the hallway with that character running backwards with the camera. You probably could have just done a little 3D track, took that tracking data, or just done some general camera shake on a camera that's moving back and tracking with that character. It would have felt a bit more real to me. The move you have just feels a bit CG, you know, like the camera's just kind of floating in space. I know we're in space, but that's it, man. That's all I got. I think this is really good, really solid job. So the VFX Wizard, congratulations, you got the challenge winner role. So the last one, guys, the last freaking one. All right, guys, I think the last one. This is so tough. Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna announce the last winner, but I gotta give shout outs to the two who came really close just now. But the final winner of the video game challenge, and keep in mind, all of you guys are getting video games from me, okay? Because y'all just killing it. I'm gonna send you my favorite game. But the final winner is Mr. Visual with this image here. Now, I do not. Hey, hold on. VFX Wizard, you had your time, all right? You had your turn. Let me just make sure you chill for a second. But this image right here, Visual. Now, I do not condone drug use. I do not condone the use of magical mushrooms whatsoever. All right, hey, VFX Wizard. It's Visual's turn, all right? So, yeah, I do not condone drug use. I do not condone the use of magical mushrooms. And I do not condone the use of excessive chromatic aberration in the corners like this. But for this image, it makes total sense because Mario, he got hit. He got hit with something hard. You know, it was probably from this little vine guy back here. Maybe he licked him, right in the back of the head. He got hit. There's mushrooms everywhere. Mario's having a tough day. It's not his best day, but I like it. I think there's story. You got the render quality. You got the, you got the skills. You got the touch, man. I think it's really good. Really, really nice. The lighting, I think, is fantastic. Your model is really, really well done. I'm seeing a little bit of, it's hard to tell. Is that subsurface scattering or not? I can't tell, but it just looks incredible. It's a very, very good job. So Visual, you're getting a game, as well as Final Dearborn, Job, Malcolm, and the VFX Wizard. But before I call it quits, I just gotta say, shout outs to MDK, because guys, he literally made a video game. It's called The Lord of Leap. And it's a video game where you can jump from platform to platform, and it's super foggy. I don't know what he made it in. Maybe Unreal, maybe Unity. But I'm sure you could probably play the game too. Reach out to him on the Discord server. MDK is his name. And he put together this awesome platformer. I think it's freaking awesome. So freaking cool. So yeah, shout outs to MDK. You do really good work. You consistently do really good work. So keep it up. I look forward to your submission for the Parallel Dimensions contest. We could definitely use your render capabilities to make the final result, the compilation of all the results, be as awesome as possible. And last up, I got to give a shout out to Mr. Ronan, because this is freaking sick. I love this. If you guys are BioShock fans, you'll recognize this. You know, we got this guy, I forget his name, I forget the character's name, but he's at the bar. It was a long day. It was a really long day. I like what you got here, Ronan. I think it's super cool. Keep up the good work. You came this close. This close. What could you have done to make it better? Honestly, I think color correction, dude. I think you can give it some vignette. I think you can crush the blacks just a little bit. Darken up the image a little bit. Give it a little bit of blur. I'm seeing some... Like, it's too crisp, you know? It's a little too crisp. It needs that subtle, like, camera distortion, and it needs a little bit... I mean, you have the noise going, which is good, but... no actual picture would be this crisp, you know? I think it just needs a little bit of dirtying up just a bit more, a little bit of blur. It's just a little too crispy there. And maybe more samples too. I think you could have gone with more samples. I don't know if that's render noise or just because when I zoom in to full, I can see a bit of anti-aliasing here. But those are nitpicks, man. You got really close. So Ronan, you're doing good. You're doing really good. But guys, there is no weekly contest this week, because there is a monthly contest, and it's the Parallel Dimensions contest. If you guys are just showing up right now, I'm hosting a contest of my own for my first time with the help of PNY and NVIDIA. They're teaming up to help give out some awesome prizes to you guys. It's going to be U.S. prizes only, but if you're international, then you can definitely still enter and submit your awesome artwork. We're going to be basically populating this scene here with any sort of environment that you want. There's no themes. It's just whatever you can come up with in your head, okay? There's a link to the Parallel Dimensions landing page. It's the first link in the description of this video. All right, go there, get the info, read up on the rules, watch the beginning of this stream. You know, whatever you got to do. Download the assets. You're gonna get a folder with a Cinema 4D file and a FBX file. They're both the same thing. The FBX file is a little janky. You want it to look like what I'm looking at here, but I'm gonna get you a Blender file early next week so that you guys can make sure that you're working on the right thing. But first and foremost, make sure you guys are kind of sketching out your plan. Gather reference like I did here on the stream. We were looking at Pinterest and Google, different images that we pieced together in Photoshop to get us something like this. And but I actually prefer the Village version that I put out, which is standby. This one here. Right, so I'll save this as my background. Set as background. I guess that didn't work. There we go. Right, so this is just a compilation that I put together, a little concept art in Photoshop. Okay, this will guide my process throughout the entire creation process of this contest. Okay, first place, you're getting a NVIDIA RTX Quadro 4000. Second place, you guys are getting an NVIDIA Shield TV Pro. And then third place, you guys are getting a 1 terabyte SSD. Okay. Fourth and fifth place, got you guys with 256 gigabyte USB 3.1 flash drives, just as an honorable mention. And at the end of all this, I'm going to be compiling all of your guys' awesome renders into one loopable animation and posted on my channel right here. It's going to be featured by PNY, and it's going to be featured by NVIDIA. If you guys are international, you can join. The prizes just can't be sent to you guys because it's U.S. prizes only. But don't let that get y'all sad and stop you from making something really cool, because we want to make something together and we need all the best renders to make the most awesome the most awesome compilation. Now, if this was a video, I'd edit that part out. I'd freaking make it all sweet and chop it up, but this is a live stream. You guys get to see the raw version. That's it. Go to the landing page. The link's in the description. Let me pull it up for you guys before I dip out of here. I'm very proud of how it turned out. The PNY team did a fantastic job. Here it is, parallel dimensions. This is fun. This is gonna be a good time. So download that template right here. Download the template and get started. I'm announcing the winners November 7th on the stream live. I'm gonna critique and review all of them. All right. And these are video submissions. Your render has to be 88 frames, okay? An 88 frame video, because I'm piecing together all these videos. I'll probably clarify the rules a little bit more as we go, just to make sure no one's confused, because you guys have legit questions. So I'm going to chill for the next 5 minutes. I'm going to grab a kombucha and chill with you guys. I'm going to answer any questions you may have on the parallel dimensions contest, okay? And yeah, we'll just hang and chill for the next 5 minutes before I go off and have a Saturday. So be right back. I'm going to grab a kombucha. Matthew, so the reason why the FBX may appear to not have the mountain, it's because you need to extend your clipping view. Basically, in Cinema, I know if I hit Control D, project settings, and I scroll down, if my view clipping is set to medium, I'm not going to be able to see that mountain. If it's set to small, I'm really not going to be able to see the mountain. And if it's set to small or tiny, I'm not going to be able to see anything. So just set your clipping distance to large, because that mountain is really pushed back there. And I really, really am excited that you guys, you international folks, are actually down for this, despite the U.S. prize pool only. That means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. The prizes are super sick. But the point of this is to work together on something really cool and create something and focus on something that will push you as a creator, and it'll allow us to actually create something larger than just ourselves. We're going to team up, all of us, and we're going to put all of your guys' renders into one compilation with music. I'm going to have a friend make music for it. It's going to be super cool. Yes, you have to submit an 88 frame video at 30 frames a second, okay? And what else? Like I'm like, I feel like some things are obvious to me but not obvious to you guys. So I'm here for the next 5 minutes to answer any questions that you guys might have, okay? Can we download assets? Yes, you can download assets. You don't have to create everything from scratch. Download assets. Don't just download a freaking full scene and put a mountain in the background. Really try and create something, craft something. You guys have a month to do this, okay? If you cheat, I will find out. I will find you, because you need to basically provide me a clay render and your scene file. I'm gonna need your scene file too, to make sure y'all ain't cheating. If you guys cheat on this, I mean, y'all cheat on this, you're going to be banned from the Discord server. And that's not good. We don't want that. Can you use any software? Absolutely. Use Blender. Use Maya. Use 3ds Max. Use Cinema 4D. Use a program that I'm not thinking about right now. As long as you can import this template into your 3D program of choice, you're all good to go. All right, Andre, notice the character is offset from the ground plane in the y-axis. Is this intentional or an error? It's definitely an error. So let me show you mine. Yep, that's definitely an error. And sometimes that pops up. So basically take your character and zero it out. 0, 0, 0. All right, that's not working. Yeah, so now the character's too close. All right, so I think I'm just going to have to update the assets for you guys as soon as possible. I'm probably going to have to update the assets as early as Monday morning. All right, so definitely get working on this, okay? Just know that the character, you're going to have to download the assets and make sure that your character's in the right spot, okay? You'll be able to just take the character, copy-paste, take the mountain, copy-paste, put it in your scene. Apologies if there's any errors. You know, we're dealing with computers. We're dealing with technology. It can be a little glitchy at some points here. I think we have pieces snapping out of place because we're dealing with Mixamo data. But don't worry about that. Don't worry about that for now. He should be on the ground, but he should also kind of be scooted forward. So I'm going to lock that in for you guys with a new downloadable asset there. All right, any other questions? Where can I download template for Blender? So there is no Blender template yet. It's just an FBX file. The assets to download are on the landing page. The link is in the description. It's that PNY landing page. The link is like literally right down here. Just follow that page. It's on the parallel dimensions page. You're going to see this. You're going to scroll down and you'll see download template right here. This is how you get started. And you're going to be able to submit from the same page. Basically, once you guys start submitting posts, they'll be on this page. So you'll be able to see all of your guys' work from this page. My stream will also be up on this page as well. So you can follow all of my work on this page. If you scroll down, all the way down, you're going to upload here. So this is how you enter name, email, your social handle. And then boom, you can upload your file up to 100 megabytes. Make sure you guys read the rules and resources, terms and conditions. Go ahead and read all that stuff because there's details on like how to export, what to render, and all that good stuff. Yeah, so that's kind of it. Does it have to be only one character, or can we add more? You can add more characters, but this central character needs to be the spotlight. Like you can have characters off to the side if you're walking through a crowd of people or something. That's fine. Just make sure that this character doesn't move from this spot, basically, right? Because we want it to be a match cut between all the different renders. We want the mountain. There needs to be a mountain, specifically this size and shape in the background of every render, as well as a character this size and shape in this position in every single render. That's the point. That's how we're going to combine all these different images together. All these different videos together. Of course, you can make your own assets. Dude, always. Of course you can make your own assets. Yeah, you can add clothes and stuff. You can change the character model. Absolutely, just not the animation. Visual, you got it, 100%. Burke, 30 FPS, 88 frames, and rendered out as an MP4? Sure, yeah, rendered out as whatever you want, as long as you can fit it within the 100 megabyte upload limit. If you guys win, whoever wins, I might reach out to you personally and ask for like a uncompressed, high quality version of your render, so that I can take that and edit it together for my sake, and put out the highest quality version of this possible. Don't send me anything less than 1080p. Specifically 1920 by 810. That's how we're going to get these nice looking bars. It's how we get these black bars across the scene like this. You can upscale that to 4K. Or I'm sorry, not upscale. You're going to render that out as 4K as the maximum resolution. So that's going to be 3840 by 1620. I believe. Can you do shader displacement on the mountain? Absolutely. Yeah, texture your mountain. Do you know, make it look rocky. Give it some snow. Shader displacement on the mountain is totally fine. You can add little tiny details to the mountain if you want to have like a, little lights going up the mountain or something, or and electrical antennas going up the mountain, or some outpost right at the tippy top. That's fine. But just leave the mountain, like the shape of the mountain should look like the shape of the mountain throughout all these shots. Puzzle blocks. I know this question is money, but do you have a length that you plan on editing the shot in? Like, will you only display 88 frames, or are you going to loop it multiple times? I'm only displaying 88 frames. Everyone gets 88 frames. Everybody gets 88 frames. Yep. No more, no less. Everyone gets 88 frames to do this. Can you go with any art style, or does it need to be realistic? It can be any art style you want. It could be anything you want, any style. Like, it could be Adventure Time style. It could be Studio Ghibli style. It could be like low poly black and white style. It could look like Samurai Jack. It could look like Dark Souls. It could look like, realistic. It could look super fake. It doesn't matter. It's whatever you think is cool. Whatever you think is awesome. Can you share your work on other platforms like ArtStation? I don't see why not. Yeah, I don't see why not at all. I think that's going to be awesome. Like, you guys should be making work you're really proud of, okay? So please, yeah, share your work. It's going to be awesome. And we're going to feature it as much as we can. PNY and NVIDIA. We're going to feature all this cool stuff. Visual, this is going to be beyond awesome. Yes, it is, dude. Yes, it is. I can't wait to see what you guys do. Burke, yeah. Can't wait to hear the music. Such a cool idea through and through. I agree, man. I'm going to get a buddy of mine. I'm going to try and get a buddy of mine to write an original piece of music for this compilation. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going to make sure it's really cool. Toby, should we avoid using, or should we avoid obscuring the mountain with foreground elements? Is there a rough percentage that should be visible? Yeah, you should be able to see the mountain. You don't want to just put a building here and just say, oh, there's a building in the way. No, you have to be able to see the mountain in the final render. You can have stuff in the midground, like you can maybe like just, as long as you have like 60% of the mountain visible, that's fine. You can have like leaves on the side here, like you're cutting through a jungle, like dangling leaves up top here. But as long as the focus is on the mountain with the character walking towards it, that's the whole point. What's the last date? The last date would technically be the morning of November 7th, but I'm just going to say, dude, get it in Friday night, November 6th, because you don't want to cut it that close. I may not be able to download your model, like time zones might be a little off. So get it in on Friday, definitely, November 6th, because I'm going to be reviewing all of the submissions and announcing the winners on November 7th. Kazi, I think you could really make something cool. You said your PC kind of sucks, but that's why I said I'll try. I don't know if I'll be able to render it out. Check this out, dude. You can do a whole lot with black and white, just shapes. You can tell a story through shapes. Let me show you something. So there's this fight in Samurai Jack, very famous fight, where it's all just black and white. But I think that's a good example for you guys. Abilash, can I render in 1920 by 1080? You can, but I'm going to crop it to 1920 by 810 because I want it to feel super cinematic. I like these bars. I like this feeling. I want to get this vibe, right? So you can just know that I'm going to put some bars on top and bottom, and I'll probably move the image up or down to best fit your widescreen render into this format. This is a widescreen format. This is 2.37, I think, format. 1 to 2.37, I think is what it is. So it's like 16:9. This is 1 237. Or yeah, that's confusing. Basically, this long part is 2.37 times longer than this short part. That's the idea. 1920 by 810. All right. Any more questions, guys? So should the character be in the same spot on the screen for everyone? Yes, the character should be in the same spot on the screen for everybody. I know that there's a little bit of jankiness with like the character floating and the FBX is like the thing is backwards. I'm going to make sure that that's set for you guys by Monday morning, okay? I'm going to get a file basically ready to go for you guys. But download the one now. Download the one now and get making your concept art, sketch out your scene, come up with your ideas, and get excited about this, guys, because it's going to be freaking sweet. When will the Blender file be available? Yep, it'll be early next week. As soon as Monday, I hope. That's the plan. Yeah, that's the plan. All right, guys. I'm going to bounce here. Good luck. Join the Discord server. The link is also in the description. If you have any more questions, ask it in the Discord server, okay? And I'll help you guys out. But in the meantime, good luck. And I'm excited to see all the work that you guys come up with. So thank you so much. I'll catch you guys next week. I'll be working on my submission. Obviously, I can't win my own contest. But I'm going to make something cool for you guys. So I'll see you next week. Get working. I look forward to seeing what you guys got. All right. Peace, guys.